There are moments in your life when everything you thought your future would be disappears in a single day. You look around at the empty space where certainty used to live, and you wonder, is this end of my story or beginning of new one? My name is Aya, and few years ago I lost my job and then I lost my marriage. Over 23 years, almost overnight. For a moment, I felt like I lost myself too. But this isn't a story about pain. It's a story about power, about rebuilding, about coming back to home to myself and helping others do the same. When I lost my job, I was angry, not just at the situation, but the feeling of suddenly not knowing who I was without that title. And that loss shook something deep inside me. And maybe for the first time, a tiny whisper appeared. What if I could become something else? But it took me 4 years, plenty of research, courses, and studying, doing multiple jobs before I was brave enough to say out loud, I am not just who I was. I am someone becoming. When my marriage ended after 24 years together, when he left for another woman, it happened within hours. And the future I had imagined, the future I believed was certain, vanished. This shook hit my body hard. I lost weight. I couldn't sleep. I struggled with health issues. It wasn't just the grief over the relationship, it was the grief over the life I thought I would have. But even in the darkness, I made a decision. I refuse to become bitter. I want my boys to see that we can do hard things and still choose love, especially love for ourselves. In the middle of that emotional storm, I received what I now call an intuitive message. It said this was supposed to happen. These words didn't erase the pain, but they became my anchor. Not everything that breaks you is meant to destroy you. Some things break you open so you can rebuild differently. So I began rebuilding, not quickly, not perfectly, but intentionally. I went to therapy. I started tapping. On quiet Sunday mornings, I would drive to the seaside and sit with the coffee and let the waves remind me that life moves forward, and let the nature teach me how to breathe again. And I spent time with my friends, with my family, and let their love hold me while I relearned how to hold myself. And month by month, I felt something growing stronger than what I lost. I was remembering who I used to be before I made myself small. After about 9, 10 months, I started to feel myself again, but not the old version of me, a stronger version of me, a wiser version of me. And during Christmas 2023, I was with my boys, with my siblings and their families, and I felt something I hadn't felt in years, a deep, grounded happiness, a feeling that I'm whole. I just didn't feel like myself again. I felt fully alive. And 2 weeks later, I met the man I love today. Not because I needed him, but because I was ready to receive love as someone already whole. My beliefs shifted. I went from not loving myself and always feeling less than to fully and fiercely loving who I am. I understood that in long relationships, we can sometimes lose ourselves. But I also learned I am more than any role I once played. I am myself, and that is enough. Growing through pain is difficult. It requires action, determination, and self compassion, but it's always worth it. Self growth is always worth it. And now I walk beside others who are ready to rise too. Starting this YouTube channel reminds me a little bit of the dating after my divorce. There are no guarantees, and I really don't know how this works. You don't know who will show up. You don't know if it will work, but you increase your chances by showing up with honesty, courage, and heart. And that's what I'm doing here. And that's what I invite you to do on your own life. So if you're watching this and you feel stuck, if you have lost something you thought you couldn't live without, I want you to know you are not broken. You are becoming. Your story is not over. You're turning the page. It's okay to start again, even when your voice shakes. You can fall apart and still rise stronger. I did, and you can too. And if you want someone walking beside you as you find your way back to yourself and into love again, I am here. If this resonated with you, I would love for you to stay connected. Subscribe for more videos on rebuilding self love and opening yourself to healthy love again. Share your journey in the comments. I truly read all of them. And if you would like deeper guidance, sign up for my newsletter where I help you step into the love filled life you deserve, starting from within. This isn't just my comeback story, it's an invitation to begin again, to show up even with no guarantees, to choose healing, to choose becoming, to choose love, especially our own. I'll see you next time. Love and light. Bye.